Have you ever felt completely alone in your dreams, like the world is whispering or sometimes shouting that you're not good enough, not ready, or not capable? That feeling of being doubted, ignored, or even dismissed, it can shake you to your core. But here's the truth no one tells you. The people around you do not define your worth. Their disbelief is not a reflection of your potential. It's a reflection of their limitations, their fears, and sometimes their inability to see what you can see for yourself. Believing in yourself when no one else does is not easy. It is not about arrogance or pretending you have it all figured out. It is about courage. The courage to trust your instincts, to follow your vision, and to take steps forward even when the path is uncertain and silent. Every great story of success, every history-making achievement began the same way, with someone standing alone, facing doubt, and deciding that their own voice mattered more than the chorus of skepticism around them. Today, I want to talk about that voice inside you, the one that whispers, "I can do this," even when the world says you can't. I want to show you why leaning into yourself, trusting yourself, and believing in your own abilities is the single most powerful weapon you have. Because when you master that, when you fully commit to yourself, no obstacle, no criticism, and no lack of support can stop you from reaching the life you were meant to live. Have you ever felt like the world is against you? That every step forward is met with doubt, criticism, or silence? It's in those moments when everyone around you seems to question your ability that you discover the real source of power. It doesn't come from approval, applause, or recognition. It comes from within. Your strength is internal, not external. The moment you rely on others to validate you, you give away your power, and you let their fear define your limits. True confidence is born in the quiet spaces where no one else is watching, where your own belief in yourself is louder than any voice of doubt. When no one believes in you, it's easy to start questioning your path. It's easy to wonder if the dream you carry is too big, too ambitious, or too impossible. But here's the truth. Every person who has changed the world, every person who has achieved something extraordinary, has faced disbelief. They faced it alone, often silently, yet they refused to let it define them. They understood that other people's opinions are just that, opinions. They do not determine your reality, your potential, or the impact you can make. Believing in yourself in the absence of external support requires courage, the kind of courage that refuses to wait for permission. It requires discipline to show up for yourself every day, to take steps forward even when the path is uncertain and when success is invisible to everyone else. This is where character is built, where resilience is forged, and where the foundations of your future are laid. It's not about proving anyone wrong. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than anyone else can see. Every small action you take, every choice to trust your instincts rather than the doubts of others, compounds over time. Success is rarely instant. It is a series of moments where you decide to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep putting in the work when no one is applauding. This is what separates those who achieve from those who give up, those who create from those who lead, from those who lead from those who follow. Your internal strength becomes your shield, your guide, and your most loyal ally when the world offers nothing but uncertainty. And so, when the people around you doubt your vision, when they question your ability, or when they turn away, remember this: their disbelief does not define you. Your commitment to yourself does. Your belief in your own potential is the single most powerful force you will ever possess. Stand firm in it, nurture it, and never, ever let anyone's doubt convince you that you are anything less than capable of greatness. The world may not see it yet, but you must. Because when you truly believe in yourself, even when no one else does, you unlock a power that no criticism, no fear, and no obstacle can ever take away. Doubt is not the enemy. In fact, it is one of the most powerful forces you can turn to your advantage. When people don't believe in you, when their words are harsh or their skepticism is loud, it can feel like a weight trying to hold you down. But that weight, if carried correctly, can become the very fuel that propels you forward. Every doubt cast your way is an opportunity, a challenge that asks you whether you are willing to rise above, to push harder, and to prove not to them, but to yourself what you are truly capable of. Think about every success story you've ever heard. Behind each triumph lies a trail of disbelief, of people saying it couldn't be done. Those voices, instead of breaking the dreamers, often became the fire that ignited their determination. Doubt forces clarity. It exposes where your commitment is weak, where your focus wavers, and where your courage needs to step in. It is uncomfortable, yes, but discomfort is where growth happens. If you learn to lean into it instead of resisting it, doubt transforms from a barrier into a guide, showing you exactly what needs to be strengthened inside yourself. The key is perspective. When someone doubts you, it doesn't mean they understand your potential. It means they see limitations that exist only in their own minds. Their disbelief is not a measure of your ability. It's a reflection of their fears, their experiences, and their expectations. Every time someone underestimates you, every time they say you can't, you have a choice. You can let it discourage you, or you can let it sharpen your resolve. You can allow their skepticism to be the fuel that drives you to work harder, learn more, and rise higher than you ever thought possible. Doubt also teaches patience and persistence. When the world doesn't believe in you, the journey becomes quieter, slower, and more personal. You learn to trust your own judgment, to celebrate small wins, and to keep moving even when no one is cheering you on. Every step taken in the face of disbelief reinforces your confidence and strengthens your resilience. Over time, you begin to understand that the only validation you truly need is the proof you give yourself through your actions, your consistency, and your refusal to quit. Ultimately, doubt is not meant to stop you, it is meant to test you. It asks whether your vision is strong enough, whether your commitment is unwavering, and whether your belief in yourself can withstand the storms of criticism and skepticism. When you transform doubt into fuel, every no becomes momentum, every skeptical glance becomes motivation, and every moment of disbelief becomes a stepping stone toward your growth. The people who doubt you may never understand the fire it creates, but you will feel it in every decision, every effort, and every achievement along the way. Doubt is not your enemy. It is the secret ally that, when embraced, pushes you to become the strongest version of yourself. The world is full of noise. Everywhere you turn, someone has an opinion, a judgment, or a story about what you should or shouldn't be doing. It's easy to get lost in it, to feel pulled in a dozen directions, and to question whether your own voice even matters. But here's the truth. Your voice is the only one that truly matters when it comes to your life. Learning to hear it above the chaos is the first step to claiming your power. No one else's approval can replace your own understanding of your potential, your purpose, and your worth. Silencing the noise doesn't mean ignoring advice or shutting yourself off from learning. It means choosing what to listen to, choosing which voices hold value, and choosing to trust yourself first. Every time you let other people's fears, biases, or limitations dictate your decisions, you give away your power. It's not arrogance to trust your instincts. It's courage. It's the courage to say, I know my path. I know my vision. I will take action even if no one else sees it yet. Your inner voice is calibrated to your own life, your own dreams, and your own capabilities. When you listen to it, you gain clarity that no external opinion can provide. The challenge is that hearing yourself often requires standing in silence amidst the noise. It means turning down the chatter of social media, the pressure of friends and family, and the endless comparisons that distract you from your own journey. It is uncomfortable at first because the world is used to speaking for you. But the more you practice listening to yourself, the more confident you become in your decisions, and the less power external doubt has over you. When you trust your own judgment, you begin to see opportunities, solutions, and paths that others may never notice. Hearing yourself also demands honesty. You must be willing to face your fears, recognize your weaknesses, and confront the moments when you are unsure. But in doing so, you strengthen your inner authority. You become someone who can navigate uncertainty, not by seeking constant validation, but by trusting your ability to make choices, adapt, and persevere. Silence is not emptiness, it is focus, it is clarity, and it is where your true direction emerges. The more you prioritize your own voice, the less the noise of the world controls you. You will start to move with intention rather than reaction. You will begin to act with confidence rather than hesitation, and you will discover a power that cannot be shaken by criticism, comparison, or doubt. When the world is loud and relentless, those who succeed are the ones who have learned to hear themselves first. They have learned that their own belief, their own clarity, and their own decisions are stronger than any chorus of opinions around them. Trusting yourself is not just a skill, it is a form of resistance, a declaration that your life is yours to lead, and that no one else gets to dictate your worth, your direction, or your destiny. Success is not a moment, it is a process. It is not about proving anyone wrong in a single day or achieving overnight recognition. The truth is, life rarely hands out instant validation, and those who rely on the applause of others are often left waiting, frustrated, and discouraged. Real success comes from showing up every single day, regardless of who notices or who believes in you. It is in the quiet, repeated efforts that your character is built, your skills are honed, and your confidence solidifies. The world may not see your work now, but your dedication will eventually become undeniable. Consistency is powerful because it is cumulative. Every small step, every effort you make when no one is watching adds up over time. A single action may seem insignificant, but repeated day after day, it creates momentum that is unstoppable. Think about anyone who has achieved greatness. Athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders. Their success was never a result of one perfect moment. It was the product of countless days of persistence, of showing up when it would have been easier to quit. Consistency beats approval because it is internal, not dependent on the fickle judgments of others. The challenge is that consistency is invisible at first. You may work tirelessly and people may not acknowledge it. Critics may doubt you and friends may question your choices, but that is the test. Are you willing to keep going when no one applauds? Are you willing to maintain your commitment even when the results are not immediate? Those who answer yes are the ones who transform persistence into achievement. They understand that external validation is fleeting, but the discipline to show up every day creates lasting power. Consistency also teaches resilience. Each time you face setbacks or feel ignored, choosing to continue anyway strengthens your resolve. You learn to rely less on praise and more on your own standards. You begin to measure progress not by the recognition you receive, but by the effort you put in and the growth you see within yourself. Over time, your dedication becomes a reflection of your integrity and your commitment to your own potential, rather than the approval of anyone else. Ultimately, showing up consistently is a declaration of faith in yourself. It is a message to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that your goals, your vision, and your abilities matter more than fleeting opinions. Success is rarely about being seen immediately. It is about building a foundation so solid that no doubt, no criticism, and no obstacle can shake it. When you embrace consistency, you learn that approval is optional, but your effort is non-negotiable. You realize that true achievement is the result of persistence, discipline, and unwavering commitment, and that over time, your results will speak louder than any voice of doubt ever could. Walking alone is one of the hardest things you will ever do, and yet it is often the most necessary. When you choose a path that others don't understand, a path that feels unfamiliar or even risky, the world may try to convince you that you are making a mistake. Friends, family, and colleagues may question your choices, and some may even withdraw their support. But walking alone does not mean you are lost. It means you are daring to go where few have gone before. It means you are willing to face uncertainty, embrace discomfort, and trust yourself when the path is unclear. Greatness rarely follows the crowd. Every innovator, every leader, and every trailblazer has walked the road that others feared to take. They have faced skepticism, criticism, and doubt, yet they continued forward, step by step, guided by their own conviction. The solitude they endured was not punishment. It was preparation. Walking alone forces you to confront your own fears, to rely on your own judgment, and to develop resilience that cannot be learned in comfort. It shapes your character and strengthens your resolve in ways that easy approval never could. Isolation teaches clarity. When no one else is guiding you, you are forced to make decisions based on your own values, vision, and instincts. You learn to separate noise from truth and to trust yourself above all else. The lone path allows you to define success on your own terms rather than adopting someone else's definition. It is a test of courage, a challenge that asks whether your commitment to your purpose is stronger than your desire for comfort or acceptance. The answer is found not in the voices around you, but in your persistence and your willingness to keep moving forward, even when the way is uncertain. Walking alone also builds self-reliance. You discover that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. The challenges you face, the setbacks you endure, and the moments of doubt you overcome become proof of your own strength. No one else can walk this path for you, and no one else can fully understand the lessons you are learning. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Each decision made in solitude is an assertion of your independence and your commitment to your vision. Ultimately, the path less traveled leads to a kind of greatness that cannot be replicated by following the crowd. It is not just the accomplishments along the way that matter, but the growth, the courage, and the self-belief you develop in the process. Walking alone may feel isolating at times, but it is a privilege few are willing to embrace. It teaches you to rely on your own strength, trust your instincts, and value your own voice above the noise of the world. Those who walk alone often reach heights that others can only admire from afar. And they do so because they chose to honor their own path, even when no one else did. Fear is a visitor that shows up uninvited, often at the exact moment when you are about to take a step that matters. It whispers doubts, magnifies risks, and tries to convince you that staying where you are is safer than moving forward. But fear is temporary. It is a sensation, a fleeting response to uncertainty, not a reflection of your true potential. The moment you face it, acknowledge it, and move forward anyway, you take a step toward freedom. Every time you act in spite of fear, you weaken its grip and strengthen your own courage. The problem is not fear itself. It is what we allow it to do to us. We let it paralyze our dreams, freeze our ambition, and convince us that comfort is preferable to growth. But the truth is that the longer you let fear dictate your actions, the more it compounds into regret. Regret is heavier, more persistent, and far more painful than the temporary sting of fear. You may forget the fear you once felt, but you will never forget the opportunities you let slip away, the risks you avoided, or the dreams you abandoned because you were afraid to try. Failure, on the other hand, is not the opposite of courage. It is proof of it. Every time you try and fall short, you are learning, growing, and becoming stronger. You are proving to yourself that your commitment to your own life and vision matters more than your fear of judgment or loss. The lessons learned in failure are far more valuable than the comfort of never attempting at all. You begin to realize that fear is just a signal that you are stepping into the unknown, which is exactly where growth, achievement, and transformation happen. Regret, unlike fear, does not pass with time. It lingers quietly, building weight with each opportunity ignored, each dream deferred, and each step not taken. People who look back at their lives often do not regret the risks they took, they regret the chances they never gave themselves. They regret the moments when fear whispered, "Stay," and they listened. But those who choose action, who embrace courage despite trembling hands and uncertain paths, rarely carry that weight. They may stumble, they may fail, but they also live fully, boldly, and without the haunting question of what if. To live without regret, you must act in the presence of fear. You must step forward when every instinct tempts you to pause. And you must trust that the act of trying is more meaningful than the comfort of hesitation. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward in spite of it. Every choice to confront fear is a choice to honor your own potential, your own dreams, and your own life. Fear fades, regret does not. When you act boldly, even if you fail, you are choosing a life of experience, growth, and fulfillment over a life of hesitation and missed opportunity. Words are easy. Promises can be made in a moment, and intentions can be declared loudly. But words alone are powerless if they are not followed by action. People will talk, people will judge, and people will doubt you, no matter what you say. Opinions are cheap, and validation from others is fleeting. The truth that lasts is built in what you do, not in what you claim. Every step you take, every decision you follow through on, and every goal you pursue with consistency sends a message that words alone cannot convey. When no one believes in you, your actions become your loudest advocates. The work you do, the effort you put in, and the progress you make, even if it is unseen by the world at first, creates evidence of your capability. Others may criticize, dismiss, or ignore you, but results are undeniable. Small achievements compound into larger ones, and over time, the tangible proof of your dedication cannot be ignored. Actions carry weight. They have power. They speak on your behalf when doubt surrounds you. Consistency in action is particularly important when others are skeptical. People will often expect you to fail when they do not believe in your vision. That expectation can feel discouraging, but it is also an opportunity. Every task you complete, every problem you solve, and every milestone you reach chips away at their doubt. But more importantly, it strengthens your own confidence. Action is a declaration that you are committed to your own path, regardless of who supports it or questions it. It transforms silent determination into undeniable impact. Actions also carry integrity. Words without action are hollow, but a person whose behavior aligns with their intentions demonstrates authenticity. Over time, your reputation is not built on what you say. It is built on what you consistently do. People begin to notice patterns, not promises. They see commitment, reliability, and results. Your work becomes proof of your character, and your results become the loudest form of communication. Moreover, taking action shifts your mindset. It removes you from the realm of doubt and speculation and moves you into progress. Waiting for approval or recognition can paralyze you, but doing the work, regardless of whether anyone notices, puts control back in your hands. It allows you to define your own success, measure your own growth, and experience the satisfaction of achievement independent of external validation. Action creates momentum, and momentum is what turns vision into reality. Ultimately, words may inspire and intentions may motivate, but only action produces results. When you show up consistently, follow through on your plans, and take decisive steps toward your goals, you prove not just to others, but to yourself, that you are capable of more than anyone ever imagined. Your actions will outlast doubt, criticism, and disbelief. They speak louder than words, louder than opinions, and louder than fear. In the end, it is not what you say that defines you. It is what you do day after day, step by step, until your results become undeniable. When no one around you believes in your dreams or your abilities, it can feel isolating, even discouraging. It is natural to crave validation, to seek reassurance from others, but the harsh truth is that external support is not always available. That is why self-belief is so critical. When you trust yourself, when you have unwavering confidence in your own potential, you create a support system that cannot be shaken by doubt, criticism, or neglect. Your belief in yourself becomes the foundation upon which every decision, every step, and every success is built. Self-belief is not about being arrogant or dismissing feedback. It is about understanding that your worth, your vision, and your capacity to achieve are not determined by the opinions of others. When others doubt you, that doubt can become fuel instead of a barrier. It pushes you to strengthen your skills, refine your strategy, and prove to yourself that you are capable. Over time, relying on your own confidence rather than external validation allows you to stand tall in the face of adversity and continue moving forward, even when the world seems silent or critical. Your inner belief becomes your most reliable ally. It is a voice that encourages you when fear tries to pull you back, a guide that reminds you of your past achievements when doubt clouds your mind, and a source of resilience when obstacles appear insurmountable. Unlike external support, which can be inconsistent, self-belief is always available. It does not waver based on circumstances, moods, or the opinions of others. By cultivating this inner foundation, you are never truly alone, because the most important support system you will ever have is the one inside you. Self-belief also attracts opportunities. When you project confidence, even in the face of uncertainty, others begin to notice. People are naturally drawn to individuals who trust themselves, because confidence signals competence, reliability, and determination. Your belief in yourself radiates outward, inspiring trust and respect, and creating connections that might have seemed impossible when you relied solely on external approval. In this way, self-belief becomes both your shield and your magnet, protecting you from doubt while opening doors that others could not see. Perhaps most importantly, self-belief allows you to take ownership of your life. It empowers you to make decisions that align with your values, pursue goals that matter to you, and define success on your own terms. You stop waiting for permission, validation, or encouragement from the outside world, because you have already given yourself the most powerful support possible: unwavering confidence in your own ability to succeed. This internal foundation cannot be shaken, cannot be taken away, and will guide you through challenges, setbacks, and moments of uncertainty with the same quiet, steady assurance every step of the way. Criticism is something we all face, and at first it can sting. It can feel like a personal attack, a judgment on our character, or a dismissal of our vision. When people question you, doubt your abilities, or point out flaws, it is easy to let their words weigh you down. But criticism, when approached the right way, is not a weapon, it is a compass. It can guide you toward growth, refinement, and improvement. The difference lies in how you receive it. You can either let it break you, or you can let it teach you. The first step in turning criticism into a compass is learning to separate the message from the delivery. Not all criticism is constructive, and some will be harsh, unfair, or rooted in someone else's insecurities. But even in the harshest feedback, there can be a lesson if you are willing to look for it. Ask yourself, is there truth in what is being said? Can this help me see something I might have missed? Can it motivate me to improve, sharpen my skills, or rethink my approach? By extracting value from criticism, you turn an obstacle into an opportunity. Criticism also forces reflection. When someone challenges your methods, decisions, or ideas, it is an invitation to examine yourself closely. Are you truly giving your best effort? Are there areas where you can grow, learn, or adapt? Reflection is not about admitting defeat, it is about strengthening yourself. It is about becoming more self-aware, resilient, and strategic. Each critique you receive is a mirror, showing you not what you lack, but where you can rise higher. Learning to embrace criticism is also a form of self-discipline. It requires humility to listen without immediately reacting, courage to face uncomfortable truths, and wisdom to decide which feedback is useful. This practice trains your mind to remain calm under pressure, to respond thoughtfully instead of defensively, and to focus on progress instead of ego. Over time, criticism stops being a source of fear or anger. It becomes a tool you wield intentionally, helping you navigate toward better decisions and stronger results. Finally, criticism can accelerate growth. Every time you adjust your strategy, improve your skills, or refine your approach in response to feedback, you move closer to your potential. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never face criticism. They are those who learn to harness it. They use it as a compass, a guide pointing them toward improvement, higher performance, and greater resilience. The doubts of others, when interpreted with clarity and courage, become the roadmap for your next steps. Ultimately, criticism is not the enemy of success. It is one of its most powerful tools. The key is mindset. Choose to see every critique as guidance, every doubt as an opportunity, and every voice of skepticism as a compass pointing toward growth. When you do this consistently, you transform negativity into direction, weakness into strength, and doubt into determination. The world may question you, but with criticism as your guide, you navigate your path with clarity, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Before you seek validation from the world, before you chase recognition, status, or rewards, the most important commitment you can make is to yourself. You are your first mission. Your dreams, your goals, your potential, they deserve your attention, focus, and unwavering dedication. Far too often, people spend their energy trying to prove themselves to others, chasing approval, or measuring their worth through the eyes of the world. But the truth is that no external recognition can replace the power of believing in yourself and fully committing to your own growth. Committing to yourself means making choices that honor your values, your vision, and your ambitions, even when they are difficult or unpopular. It means prioritizing your time, energy, and focus on what matters most to you, rather than constantly reacting to the expectations of others. When you treat yourself as your first mission, you begin to see that self-investment is not selfish, it is essential. Your growth, your confidence, and your resilience all depend on the actions you take for yourself before you try to earn the attention or approval of anyone else. Being your own mission also requires courage. It is not always easy to stand alone, to put yourself first, or to take risks that others may not understand. There will be moments when people question your priorities, doubt your choices, or criticize your decisions. But when your first allegiance is to yourself, those external opinions lose their power. You learn to trust your instincts, rely on your inner voice, and follow your path with clarity, even when it diverges from what others expect or understand. Self-commitment creates a foundation for every other success in your life. When you invest in yourself, your skills, your mindset, and your resilience, you build the capacity to handle challenges, seize opportunities, and create impact. No recognition, money, or accolade can replace the strength you cultivate when you treat your own growth as non-negotiable. By putting yourself first, you ensure that you are prepared for every opportunity, resilient in the face of setbacks, and confident in the pursuit of your vision. Ultimately, being your first mission is about responsibility. You are responsible for your life, your decisions, and your potential. You cannot rely on others to define your worth or determine your success. By fully committing to yourself, you send a clear message to the world and to yourself that you matter, your dreams matter, and you are willing to do the work necessary to bring your vision to life. Every choice, every action, every sacrifice you make in the service of yourself compounds over time, shaping a life defined by purpose, confidence, and fulfillment. The world may not always notice, but when you treat yourself as your first mission, you unlock the power, clarity, and resilience to create the life you are truly meant to live.